All right, here we go. Que Gambino, welcome back to TLOY, man.
Appreciate you, man, for having me. Finally in person, too. You know what I mean? I told you he was coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Welcome to Toronto, man. Like, first time here, I guess. And, I've been seeing, like, the movement lately, like, seeing you, like, all over, like, the CN Tower, like, all over, like, Western Road and all that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We outside. You know what I mean? And it's brick out here, too, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, we had the blizzard for a while, so, like, now it's starting to, like, heat up again and all that. And, it's just been good from there. Yeah. And then also, too, I think, what else? I was just trying to think of this one thing I was about to say, too. So, this is actually, like, our first in-person interview that we had, because the last time we had to do it, like, all the way through Zoom,
Yeah. It's crazy, too, because when we did that, we was actually on our first tour. You know what I mean? I forgot what city we was in. When we did our interview, we was on the first tour early morning and stuff. So, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. No doubt. So, just speaking about, like, your latest two projects, because you released two albums in, like, one day, Days on Boerum and Nights on Boerum. Tell me about those, like, creative processes for those projects and what inspired you to make them in that sense.
Man, phenomenal. First time we spoke, we just dropped For the Dreamers EP. And, I was heavy. I'm like, we got to drop something dope. And originally, it was just Nights on Boerum. So if you listen to Nights on Boerum, it's more of, like, well constructed, like an album, that classic feel from the top to bottom, man. Definitely every record is special. Talking to Los, man, I'm a big fan of like the E40s and just like legends in the game, man. Doing research, man, E40 dropped two albums. It was Revenue Retrieving, Day Shift and Night Shift on the same day. And I was like, man, like, that just opened my eyes. I'm like, man, we ain't working hard enough. So I just had Los, Los my cameraman for those that don't know. I go to him pretty much with everything. We always talking about stuff, and I just threw the idea at him, and he like, yeah, like we got enough records, and I'm like, hell yeah, man, because we always working. Sure enough, man, Days on Boerum, another classic in his own sense, so many records, like bangers, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all check that out too, man. Y'all in there, y'all around. Take some time out, Days on Boerum, Nights on Boerum, man. Those are some special projects, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's crazy too, because like usually like when one person like drops like two projects in one day, like on all platforms like streaming services, sometimes too like streams might get like constrained like from one album to like another. So in terms of streaming, do you feel that one album might up one over the other when it comes to relatability and like engagement, or do you feel like they both hold their weight in terms of like productivity and streams and views?
I think, well, definitely, like, of course, you're going to have main records stand out. So definitely, Days on Boerum, Nights on Boerum, you got a few bangers that probably stand out more than others that people are playing more and more. But overall, like, great feedback as far as people actually playing the whole album. You know what I mean? And then the numbers even out. You know what I mean? They're close to each other. They're in the same range. So, I could definitely tell that people are actually going back and forth and, debating which ones they like, which is, it's dope, man. And just the recent love we getting, like all the way from London, Germany, Africa, just appreciating what we putting out. A lot of people chasing singles right now, but we one of the artists that could do singles and also make incredible bodies of work, so.
Yeah, no, for sure, and like I usually ask this for people like returning like to like interviews and all that. Like I asked that with BDX the Don, and then I also asked this with another rapper named Cola Boy, whose interview is gonna drop tomorrow actually. So, do you feel that you've grown as an artist from like the start of your career until now?
Oh, definitely, man, definitely. I feel like it's growth in anything that a person does. As long as they stay persistent and have the passion with it. But especially for me, man, like we look at like a year over year. Our first year, I think we dropped one project, with the intention that it was just gonna blow up overnight. Second year we doing three more performances. Third year now we flying out. This is our fifth year, and we gonna hit every major city across the country. Now we're going international, and we dropping more projects. We doing bigger platforms, so it's definitely growth, man. I love how we going, and just I love the engagement from the fans. That always grows the more as we progress.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm about to freestyle on this one, but like since you've been like Toronto so far, like what do you like about the city so far too? Like have you like noticed like any things that were like different than like what you expected, and like what are your other plans like for like the city so far, like in those like next couple days?
Man, I'm loving the city. Like, yo, the city is beautiful. Like, it's just the weather. I'm gonna be honest. Like, the weather is crazy. You know what I mean? We ain't used to it. You know, and it's crazy too, because you'll hear the opinion of people who from here. These past days, you know, it's beautiful. You know, I'm looking at Los like, yo, bro, it's 5 degrees outside, 3 degrees outside. This is crazy. You know what I mean? But to everybody else, it's normal. You know what I mean? But going through the city and just vibing, man, it's a different feel. You know what I mean? It's real welcoming too. You know, I say that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And like knowing that you travel to like different cities to work and all that, did your aspect of life change when you started to travel more and like meet different people from like other cities and such?
Oh, definitely, man. I think realizing that they have the same struggle is really what kind of like opened our eyes and felt like, well, it made us think that we got to do this more often. You know what I mean? From the first trip and just having conversation with people from the trenches, wherever we at. I think we was in Charlotte or something. And they telling they struggling, man. I'm like, well, we going through the same thing back home. You know what I mean? And that right there, just going through every city and getting to really tap into those markets of people that's, you know, trying to overcome the odds, it's just, it definitely like generates more ambition for us. You know what I'm saying? It definitely makes us push harder. You know what I mean? It's nothing like being on the road and getting that type of love. You know what I mean? It's different than the love in your city, I say that. It's more like respect for your craft and more respect for the artist that's really trying to push to get out. You know what I mean? As opposed to being in your city, you get mixed reactions.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because I know like in some cases too, like New York has that whole support position, you know, based on the connectivity of certain artists. Like you have like your Boos, your Chews, all that type of stuff too, and then other people who are not like in that cut that, you know, they like support each other's shows and all that. But then you have like others that might not want to see like those like artists like gain up. So do you feel like sometimes like New York doesn't have like that like connectivity as like what other like Atlanta, like, well, not like other cities, but like other cities like Atlanta, like with Atlanta artists, like they support each other?
Looking at how they even, yeah, it's crazy. Like thinking about Atlanta, just seeing how one is, it's like one get in the door, all right, come on, come up, come up, come up. You know what I mean? Like somehow they all pretty much know each other or know someone that knows someone. New York, man, everyone for themselves. You know what I mean? I say that. Like, you know, we got people that know people, but won't give us the opportunity or the shot, you know what I mean? And even just simple as like introducing, you know what I mean? They won't even do that, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy because every city I've been to, I got more love than actually in my own city, you know what I'm saying? I got people that, you know, posting or, you know, people that's just trying to tell people like, yo, this kid is the next one out the city, you know what I mean? Speaking on New York, but people in New York don't even, you know, it's a different kind of appreciation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean too. And then I think also like the next biggest hater like in that city too is like the NYPD, you know? So, and like knowing that the NYPD plays like a pivotal role in like New York like hip hop in terms of like stopping shows, you know, for certain rappers, like with Rolling Loud, they had like that list of like artists that they don't want them to perform.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And like, you know, stopping hip hop shows, like arresting people like whenever they can, like placing like charges on them that they have to prove their innocence like later on and all that. Like, have you ever had like any experience like with the NYPD, like when they noticed that you were a rapper versus before, like on how it changed?
Nah, not really. I mean, because with us, we deal with the same struggles, I feel like, regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I could say, like, instances where I've been pulled over just for, like, looking at a cop, you know what I mean? Like, on the same street. I've been pulled out of a cab, and they asked me for my ID and stuff, you know what I mean? I ain't even driving. Like, it's crazy, but I don't feel like it's no difference, you know what I mean? Us as artists, you just got to move smart. You know what I mean? I think the older that I get, I realize, like, we shouldn't put ourselves in situations where it could even be a reason for them to come, you know, because you know they're there. You know, they want a reason, and a lot of artists give them that reason, you know what I mean? And I think artists got to be smarter, especially coming out of New York, you know? And with us coming from the bottom, man, like, I'm telling you, once we get in the door, it's different, you know what I mean? Everything got to change, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't adapt the same way that you was in the past. You know what I mean? So I don't blame them. You know what I mean? They look for reasons and we give them the reasons. So it's like a 50-50 thing. You know, artists just gotta move smarter.
Yeah. Well, like, it's interesting too, like, with that history of that NYPD and all that, like, with their hatred, like, of music. So, so it's crazy. Been going on for a while, right, you know?
Yeah, definitely, man. But even looking at, like, the YouTube, you know what I mean? I call it, like, YouTube police now. You know, you got people on YouTube doing their own investigations and putting it out and 1 million views or 500,000 views, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world that we're in right now is everything has to be told. You know, it's no hidden doors, no secrets. Like, everybody wants to know everything about a person. You know, so you just gotta be careful, man. Smarten up, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the other question aside for now, just to get with this one. But you know, with the recent like changes in New York, with like the mayors, you know, recently Bill de Blasio is like not the mayor anymore, and it's Eric Adams and all that. So what was life like for you during those times when like Andrew Cuomo was like governor and like Blasio was like mayor? And with the recent changes, do you feel that like the new governor right now, who's actually like a lady right now, and then also Eric Adams, like, who used to be like a chancellor for like the NYPD and all that, do you feel like they were the right choices for people to run that city and the state and all that?
To be honest, man, I really feel like no changes really happened. You know what I mean? Like, and I say that, for example, like looking at Stop and Frisk. Like, the title is gone, the thought about it is gone, but the reality is that it still happens. You know what I mean? It's very common. You know, in our situations where we from, like, we don't talk about things that happen in there. You know what I mean? As far as police just pulling up on you and just randomly, like, you know, searching or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't think any candidates or any, like, actual position is ever going to change that. You know what I mean? Just because it's a mind frame that I'm assuming that the NYPD has, you know what I mean, targeting the areas that we come from. You know what I mean? So, like, the heads change, of course, you know, new people come in, but I really don't feel like change actually happens.
Sure.
You know?
So, like, if this new change didn't, like, work, like, it's still not, like, working in that sense, too, but, like, back then, would you say it was, like, much worse, like, with Cuomo and with de Blasio and all that?
Nah, man, it's the same. You know what I mean? Just speaking on where we from, the violence doesn't change, people struggling don't change, people in communities really need help, you know what I mean? And as far as looking for candidates to help them, man, they're not doing it, you know, which has been like that for a while now, you know, so. But that's from my point of view, at least, you know.
And, you know, like, getting into, like, your music perspective in that sense, too, how would you rate your, like, top 5, like, New York, like, rappers, like, of all time, like, excluding yourself? Or, like, your top 5 rappers of all time.
Of all
top
time?
10,
Okay, I could do 5. No specific order. So you got Jay, Stack Bundles, Nas, DMX, and my last one, I'm gonna have to go with 50. I think 50 was incredible. You know what I mean? And then the reason I say no specific order is just because I got, like, it always changes. You know what I mean? Like, you're always gonna have that debate. Oh, this album was better. Go back, re-listen to it. Like, nah, this one hit harder. You know, so. But those definitely 5 are always up there. You know, Los might argue me down, might say Kiss is in there. You know what I mean? To each his own.
Yeah, true. And, like, as far as, like, if you were to change it, like, for all time, like, you know, excluding New York, would you say like, from certain artists from certain regions, would it be, like, kind of different and all that?
I think it'd be the same. I mean, well, Pac would be in there, like, out of New York. I'd definitely put Tupac, even though he was born in New York. But it's really because my pops played music, especially, like, the golden age, that 90s. Like, he was one of the biggest hip-hop fans, so those are kind of like the same ones that I would hear 24/7 growing up, you know, so that's why I picked those. But of course you got, like, legends coming out the West, legends coming out the South, so. But for me, like, definitely those, like, New York was, like, a heavenly influence on me.
Yeah. No, I definitely know what you mean. And, you know, speaking more about your last interview, you talked about, like, how, like, Alpo was, like, a real gangster, but, like, a rat and all that. I want to get into that more, like, that sorry, that idea of like snitching for a bit too. So recently you have 6ix9ine who like ratted out like everyone like in that gang, and then also recently Mob James was known to be like a rat for some reason. Like they proved like paperwork and all that. Is snitching held to like a higher standard like where you're from, and how do you feel about that concept of snitching like changing like from time to time and all that?
Nah, it's definitely held to the highest thing. Only thing now I think with the internet, it gives people the ability to have a mixed review about it. To pick and choose and say, look at this situation, what would you do? But it really comes down to how you raise. You know what I mean? Like we raised from ain't no snitching. You know what I mean? That's just how we was raised. That's how we was brought up all of our lives. So internet aspect is not going to change anything about that. Our belief is still going to be the same because we built on certain morals. You know what I mean? The morals have never changed for us. But, with the kids of today's generation and the more that they get locked into the YouTube aspects of things and, seeing the bloggers give their opinions and people really feel like, it's okay to do that, which is to each his own. Every situation I feel like, people think about it and weigh out what they feel like is the better options for them, so, but looking at the 6ix9ine situations or the Outpost situation, like, he's still a rat, you know what I mean? Like, regardless, we can't be around that or affiliate with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like you recently too, like there's this idea of people like screen recording like other rappers' lives or other person's lives and all that, or like posting like whatever like on Instagram. So would you consider that like as like a form of like self-snitching in a sense too, like, or someone like using it as like paperwork, like in that sense too, to cover like what they're doing or what they're saying and all that?
I feel like in a way it is self-snitching, you know what I mean? I think people just got to be smarter. Everybody wants to show the world whatever it is that they got going on. Take for example, even like music videos. They got guns that they see in music videos that been used in real murders or whatever the case may be. But people just want to show that. So I never understood that. My thing was always if, just being quiet or like keeping everything to yourself. You know what I mean? Certain things the world don't gotta know, but the kids of this generation, man, everything is about, showing it, telling it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, man. And
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean the world's like kind of crazy too, like with those ideas, because still like you can still use that as paperwork too. But
honestly, man. So I don't even blame. I used to blame YouTube, like, oh, they're gonna get people in trouble. It's not them. You know what I mean? The people put themselves in that position to open the book for the world to see. You know what I mean? So. You can't blame nobody but themselves.
Yeah, nah, no doubt, man. And just speaking more about like your brand right now, like as far as like your brand goes, like like we have like a new generation of like wealth in that sense too. With NFTs, crypto, stocks, all that type of stuff too. So, would you ever consider getting into like NFTs and like crypto to promote content, or would you pursue like the traditional like route from money management? Like with stocks, like buying property, like having like
portfolios and building. Now we trying to do the NFT now, man. Los be on that, you know what I mean? I'm trying to catch up to Los. Los be jumping into NFTs and stuff. He been trying to talk to me about trying to do that. I think we definitely gonna plan on doing that, man. The NFT thing is looking incredible. Just like with the way everything is going, man, the technology, everything is like fast paced. I never believed like in trying to build a long-term portfolio or anything like that. I'm more like, yo, we need that now. You know what I mean? So definitely, I think maybe next project. Who knows? But definitely, Los like is keeping that in my ear. So we got to do that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So as far as like this year goes, like Happy New Year, man. In terms of like any like music or other creative projects and so forth. Like for New Year.
So drop nights on Boerum, days on Boerum. That was Christmas. Right now, we're working on EPs, man. Another album on the way. Dej, Airman Dej, shout out to her. She just dropped her project. She about to go on the road. Make sure I check out. She's super dope. Los, we trying to get Los on this short film. He been throwing it in the air. I've been shouting out every time, man. He's working on it. You know what I'm saying? We just working, man. The whole team working. We got London coming up next month. We're doing more international trips, just trying to promote out there, market out there. And we just grinding, man, you know. Bino's Lemonade, you know what I'm saying? Boerum Beverages, man, is incredible. We got 4 flavors right now. We shipping out everywhere, you know what I mean? It took a while, but we out there. Then we got the Bino's Foreign Snacks. I just brought you, matter of fact, the fried crab flavor, which is incredible. I got to show that, you know what I mean? That's phenomenal right now, you know what I mean? Fried crab, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the many flavors. Y'all let me know, man. Bino, we out here. But just tap in, man. All we know is working. You know what I'm saying? We ain't slowing down. We finding different ways to do stuff, and you know, we jumping in lanes.
Yeah, man. And for people who want to like find out more about you, like on social media and all that, like where can they like find you and all that?
Tap in, man. Que Gambino, QUEGAMBINO. That's on IG. I got Bino's Foreign Snacks. You can spell it out just like that. Boerum Beverages. That's the drinks. I am Young Los. Check him out, man. He's one of the dopest videographers out there. You know what I mean? I don't say that because he my man, you know what I'm saying? But he really working, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at Boerum, all we know is working, you know what I mean? Ain't a day go by we ain't doing something, we ain't trying something, we ain't speaking on something, you know what I mean? So I look at us, our brand, as like Griselda, the Rockefeller, the Sick with a Camp, you know what I mean? Just having that intention of being independent and actually taking over, you know what I'm saying? So it's taking time, man, but we getting it, you know what I'm saying? We getting some product, we got the drinks out. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Well, Que Gambino, thank you for coming by to this interview, like for the very first in-person like interview that we have right now.
In Toronto, man.
Yeah, man. And you gotta like stream that project, you know, Days on Boerum, Nights on Boerum, out on like Spotify, you know, Apple Music, anywhere you can get music and all that. And
only indie artists to drop 2 albums on the same day, man. Ain't nobody like us, man. We 1-1, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And I wish you like nothing but the best for the new year, you know, like
much love, man.
Enjoy your time in Toronto, man, and you know, until next time, man.
Appreciate that, man. Double M out. You dig?
All right. Peace.